thinking about the better you understand how to make Canva work for you, the more time you actually get back to focus on what moves your business or your organization. A few key points about why all of this stuff is so important, especially the things we'll be learning today. We're going to be talking about how to automate the repetitive tasks so that you can protect your creativity. If you let Canva handle a lot of the busy work for you, you can focus more on your ideas, the stories that you're trying to tell about your organization, and also the strategy that's moving your brand forward. Design tools should serve your brand, not slow it down, right? So especially if, with Canva, we know that it can be very clunky, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So learning it and figuring out how to build those systems will make design easier, faster, and more intuitive for you. And we want creating content to be fun. So I can't reiterate that enough. You want to enjoy what you're doing, enjoy building things that promote the great work that you're doing. So if you let your creativity feel light again, you can make your visuals something that you actually enjoy making. A quick note about today's workshop format. So I put a lot of thought into the best way to kind of craft this workshop. And if anyone knows Canva at all, or just software in general, it can be very finicky, especially Canva. They get to the point where they change everything constantly. Sometimes they're moving things around all the time. And so I wanted to create demo videos in advance to play for you so that everything is very clear and straightforward, rather than me struggling to try to find wherever Canva moved the thing to today. So I will be talking you through each demo video beforehand and giving you a few notes on each demo video after, but the demonstration itself will be in a demo video format here playing on the screen. And we'll have a little bit of practice time built in just to kind of actually play around and implement what we reviewed from most of these videos here, in case you guys want to actually start getting some hands-on experience with the things that we reviewed today. Not for all of them. Some of the ones toward the end are a little bit more complex. So, but you will also be getting this. It's being recorded. So if you wanted to play around with this on your own time afterward, you'll have those videos to revisit. Okay, so one thing that I want to talk about that's really easy to overlook when it comes to your business or organization is imagery. You can have the best brand package in the world, colors, fonts, beautiful layouts, but if the imagery always feels low quality or inconsistent, or even just off-brand, people will really feel that instantly. So that visual disconnect is what makes your design look DIY instead of more professional. And I think we know not everybody has professional brand photos. Not everybody can, not every organization can afford to hire a professional brand photographer. But that's where Canva has some creative tools that can really help you to make your visuals look a little bit more professional and a little bit more engaging and eye-catching. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to remove distractions from your photos and highlight your subject. We're going to talk about layering elements for creative layouts, how to polish and clean up your photos. If you have, a photo where there's just something in it that you want removed and you're not sure how to get that out of there, and also how to create unique AI generated images. And right into the demo. Okay, now let's take a look at some of Canva's magic editing tools. These are the features that can instantly make your visuals go from basic to polished and professional without needing advanced photo software. First up, Canva's Magic Background Remover. This is one of the easiest ways to isolate your subject and give your design a modern, elevated look. Select your image and click Background Remover. You can use this anytime you want to pull the subject forward and remove distractions behind it, or when you want to layer text, a pattern, or another element behind your subject, like this. This creates that dimensional, editorial style look you see in modern branding. Simple, but really effective. Next, Let's take a look at Magic Erase. This tool is perfect for removing something small that's distracting in the background, like clutter, logos, or random objects you don't want in the shot. Simply select the image, click Edit, and select Magic Eraser. You have the option to click or brush out individual elements or remove the entire foreground. Canva's AI fills in the space automatically, and you can zoom in for precision if needed. Let's choose click to remove the phone in the background. Watch as Canva does its magic. There you go, no more phone. Try not to overuse it. Just small, simple fixes can clean things up a lot, and it works best when the background is fairly consistent. Now for something really cool, Magic Grab. This tool lets you lift your subject from the photo while keeping the background intact. Just select your image, click Edit, and then come down here to Magic Grab. You'll see the same options here as in Canva's Magic Erase tool. And when you click your subject, Canva will automatically separate the foreground object, like a person or a product, into its own layer, so you can move it, resize it, or then slide text behind it while keeping the original background. This is a great trick for adding depth and visual interest, especially in product graphics, social posts, or banners where you want your text to stand out, but still keep the context of the photo. So that's a quick look at Canva's magic editing tools, background remover, Magic Erase, and Magic Grab. They're simple to use, but give you that extra level of polish that make your designs look professional and intentional. Play around with these tools on a few of your own images. You'll quickly start to see where they can help clean up a design or give it that creative edge. Those are my kids, aren't they cute?
Yeah.
What?
Who's that?
I'm sorry.
Who's that?
What's that?
Who's that there?
Oh, he was one of my clients. I was using one of his photos, just as for the demo because the background was pretty easy to remove from that one.
And you got to that through design on the side.
What
you got to that through design.
Yes, when you select when you select the image, there's at the top of the toolbar, there's an option called Edit Photo, and then all the magic tools are under there. And actually, yeah, when we have some practice time, I will come around in case anyone's having a hard time finding it. But just a quick, check in. Did anybody? How was that new to a lot of you, or did a lot of you know that Canva could do that? All right, for the next one, we're gonna dive right into Canva's AI image generator. So this tool is really cool for if you are struggling to find a photo that fits what you're trying to describe. It's not great with generating people, but if you're just looking for something that is something to use in a background, a still life of some sort, a landscape of some sort, Canva has a image generator tool where if you give it a very, very detailed and specific prompt, considering like what you want in it, mentioning what you want that lighting to look like, the photo style that you want, it can actually create really beautiful images. So they are unique. They don't look like generic stock photos necessarily, but sometimes they still look really professional and they can get across that point that you're trying to get across or serve that purpose that you're trying to fill. So we will. Let's switch gears to Canva's Magic Media tool. This creates AI-generated images right inside your design. From a new design, click Magic Media in the left-hand toolbar. The key here is detail. The more specific you are, the better your results will be. So let's enter the descriptive prompt together. Create a minimal, airy workspace flat lay featuring a soft, neutral palette, linen desk surface, open laptop, ceramic coffee mug, gold pen, and a single sprig of eucalyptus beside it, a green notebook. Warm natural light, soft shadows, calm and inviting atmosphere. Then, once you have your prompt in there, click Generate Images. and wait to see what it comes up with. Canva usually generates 4 image options. You can click each one to preview. And if one fits your vibe, drop it right into your layout. If none of them hit the mark, adjust your prompt. You can add color tones, lighting style, or composition details and regenerate. AI responds fast to specificity. And that's it for that one. So yeah, as you can see, depending on how detailed you get with that prompt, you can get some really beautiful images to work.
You use the term flat lay.
Flat lay. So
Was that to get the overhead view?
yes, yep, an overhead view, that's what that exactly what that, it's almost like it's usually a still life that's taken from an overhead
Okay.
of objects or things kind of sitting out on a table. Now, a lot of people use them for, background images behind text on websites or just behind text and social media graphics. So yeah, so just a few things to think about. Engaging visuals, obviously kind of instant credibility, right? They up the professional factor. People form opinions about your brand in seconds. High quality imagery builds trust faster than any caption can. Just think about the types of posts that you see when you're scrolling, which ones really catch your attention, which ones you want to stop and look at, which ones make you actually want to click to read that caption. Less is definitely more. You don't want to overcrowd your visuals. Sometimes isolating your subject by removing that background and adding that space can let the design breathe a little bit and maybe let any text that you have in the image kind of stand out a little bit more. And definitely use AI intentionally, right? People are very quick to catch on to these days when things are AI generated, if they don't feel authentic, if they don't feel real, obviously sprinkle it in occasionally, use it for background, not, primary subject matter. And just make sure that if you are using it in your content, you're also using those real people, right? Because that's what everybody connects with and that's what people want to see. But if you're really trying to fill the gap with a specific type of image, it can definitely help you out. So let's take a little bit of time to practice. I just to kind of make sure you guys have some options to do, I put a couple things up on the board. We can either try editing an existing photo, so pulling something in from Canva or something that you have from your phone, either airdropping it or sending it and playing around with those magic edit tools, or try creating a new image with the magic media. So if there's something you can think of that, even if it's not something you would use for your business, just you want to play around with a fun prompt and try to get a really cool image generated. We'll take a few minutes to do that. If anybody has any questions on how to get there, sure.
Yes, please. Oh, you tried to pull it up. You can see the video, but oh, so you have to see the Asian bottom. That's just half. Zero. So there's unfortunately too much. There was a free trial though, so if you wanted to schools like that, at least if you put it demo, we'd be able to put it on it all. Yeah, absorb that. Sign.
It would be helpful. There's definitely a lot of things, especially if you're not familiar with Canva. So yeah, the first part would be really helpful to kind of read that first. Yeah, to some of it. Yeah, I've been making some notes and see what it sounds fun to try on.
Okay, really cool.
Oh, look at that, that was fun.
Don't see, it helps you imagine around if we have layers in.
Okay, see, is that one of those things that Canva just changed this week?
Yeah, me.
Okay, down there. Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I wonder what magic layers is though, I haven't played around with that. Apparently it's separated out your house.
Absolutely. Stuff in the individuals, just the painting, CDs, years old.
That's what I just did, and it took all the kids apart.
It's separated. So you could really move them all around if you wanted to. Well, hopefully you got a chance to play around with that a little bit. We will go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm going to talk a little bit about Canva's Magic Write tool for captions, ideas, and content. So if you were here yesterday, or if you're already familiar with Canva, you'll know that in your brand hub, you have the option to set up your brand voice and tone. So it's a place in your brand kit to write a small description or some adjectives about how you sound when you're writing your content, how your natural voice sounds when you're talking about your business or your organization. And so when you tie that into using Canva's Magic Write tool, you can create and generate captions or other content a lot faster and make some quick edits to it to make it sound more like how you want it to sound without having to write from scratch every time. Next, let's dive into Canva's Magic Write tool. This is Canva's built-in AI writer that can help you brainstorm or draft copy right inside your design. You can use it for things like social media captions, quick blog intros, product descriptions, or even post ideas when you're scheduling content directly from Canva. With the link design open, look down in the bottom left corner for the little star icon. This is Canva's Magic Tools menu. Click the star icon and choose Magic Write, or you can search for it if it doesn't appear. In the prompt box, type a quick description of what you want. I'll type something like, write a short uplifting Instagram caption about building confidence as an entrepreneur. Click generate. Magic Write gives you an instant caption you can tweak or shorten. You can highlight sections of it and click more like this, or highlight a section and click this but, and enter things that you want to see it change. When you have it the way you want it, click insert. If it still doesn't quite sound like you can refine it using your brand voice. Click the Magic Write icon in the voting toolbar, come down to change voice and apply brand voice. If you like the way it sounds, you can replace it. It's a great way to keep your messaging consistent across everything you write. So again, just a quick tip, your voice matters. You know, AI can be great for sparking ideas, but it's your voice that makes them authentic. So, you know, especially if you're batch creating content, right, and you need a lot of different captions that say kind of something similar, but written in a different way, AI can really help with that. But just always tweak your tone so that your brand feels human and recognizable. So if you want to take a few minutes to play around with the Magic Write tool, this might be one of those demos where I feel like Canva has changed where the Magic Write tool is located. So if you wanted to open up a new design and create like a text box to play around with it, I can kind of help you with where that might be really.
If you click on just create a design, magic, right?
Right there, perfect. Oh, that's great. So you don't even need it, but I feel like they've made that better because it used to be you had to create a design first, so now. Just you can.
I think it's, what do you look at? Oh, so, we- oh, it's a she. Shouldn't keep the. It's on spots. Financial point.
Yeah, so different places, but if you're already in a design.
I put in a few words and all of a sudden I get 5 paragraphs that look wonderful.
Yeah, oh my gosh, see? It's great, and if you read through them, and as long as they, kind of feel like you and sound like something that would come from you, that's a great starting point. Yeah.
So how can you, oh, I don't know what I just did. You were talking about voice.
Your brand voice, don't you
And-
have your brand voice set up in there?
I don't, I do not. So can we talk, I guess, a little bit about?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you know, like a little bit about what your brand voice sounds like, oh, do you have Canva Pro?
I think, oh, yeah.
Oh, are you part of an organization? I bet that they have permission set up so that some of their users can access brand controls.
Okay.
That's another thing to consider, actually, guys. This is probably worth mentioning. So if you have Canva for Pro through your organization, if it's either Canva for Teams or Canva Pro, they have the ability to add users, but not give you access to the brand controls. This is probably something that's really important considering a lot of you are, most of you are with nonprofits. So it might be worth, if that's something that you want to utilize, or some of these tools are something that you want to utilize, you might want to talk to them about possibly giving you access to those. They're gonna want to make sure that you're not gonna go in and delete colors or logos or anything like that, but,
Or maybe to have, somewhat regular meetings, so that's like, if they do want one person to have that control or
yeah.
responsibility, that those pieces are incorporated.
Exactly, yeah, and they
Okay.
said that if they were to go in and set up that brand voice, then it would already be in there for you
Yeah.
to utilize.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, thank you.
So over here in brands. Oh, sorry, am I right clicking? I'm so
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everyone, I think we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so one thing I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about today is video. So video content is really, especially nowadays, one of the most powerful ways to connect with your audience. But it is also the thing that is most intimidating to people. When you think of video editing, we think of complicated editing software, or even things like CapCut, which can be really overwhelming. And just you picture hours of cutting clips together. And it doesn't have to be that complex. Canva actually makes it really simple by providing us with some templates as a starting point. And we can make it really easy to create some beautiful, simple videos that you could use for your organization. So today we will talk about how to build intentional movement, short scroll stopping videos that actually tell your story and look consistent with your brand. As you guys watch this demo, think about how your brand moves, right? We have, every brand has a different feeling that they want to convey from their audience. So if we are thinking of something energetic and bold, what type of movement would be associated with that, right? Things that are short or quick or poppy. If your brand is more calm and relaxing, think slow fades, slow pans, things like that. So the goal here is not to try to make any kind of cinematic masterpiece. It's just to create something that feels and looks like your business and is cohesive across platforms. All right, now let's take video editing in Canva a step further. In part one, we turned a static post into a reel. Now we're starting with a full video template and personalizing it for your brand. From the home screen, click templates. And we'll search for Instagram Reels video. There are endless options to choose from. Some are more complex than others, but I'll start with this basic template for now. Click it and choose Customize this template. When your video opens, you'll notice the timeline at the bottom of your screen. That's where you control your video's flow. Each block here represents a different clip or scene. You can adjust how long each one plays by dragging the edges. If you want the slide to stay on screen longer, just stretch out. You'll also notice there are lines for the text in your video, as well as additional elements like background shadows, as well as an audio track. You can also control the length and duration of these by stretching them out as well. Once you're familiar with the layout, start by applying your brand styles, your fonts, colors, and logos so that everything feels cohesive. Come over here to the left-hand panel and choose Design and select Styles. This is where we can switch out those colors and fonts, just like we did with that static post that we styled in part one. Once you've applied your styles, you can edit the size of your text to be bigger or smaller on each screen. Next, let's replace the stock footage in this template. You can use Canva's built-in video library here, or you can come up to Uploads to upload your own. Let's go down to videos and search for slow pouring coffee. You can also filter the videos by vertical, square, or horizontal to find a video that best fits your design. I found 2 videos earlier that I'm going to use to replace these 2, so I'll go back to recently used, click See All, and then to replace them, just be sure that background video is selected before you click and drag that video in from the left. I'll do the same with the second slide. To use your own videos, head up to Uploads. You can click and drag it in the same way you did with the stock video. Now let's take a look at the text. You can edit any text block directly. Just click and type. Keep your message short and visually balanced. To add or change animations, select the text and click Animate in the top right of the floating toolbar. This will bring up a bunch of different animations that you can hover over to find one that you like for your design. You can control the animation timing here too. You can make it faster or slower. You can change the movement, and you can apply the animations to the entire page if you want consistency throughout. Between each slide, you can also customize how scenes flow together. Click the small transition icon between the two clips in the timeline. You can do subtle slides, wipes, or flows, or keep it simple and clean with a cross dissolve. I'll choose that one. Shorter transitions create more energy, while longer ones feel softer and more relaxed. While we're zoomed in on the timeline, let's also take a look at the other components. We have our text here in separate layers, in addition to our 2 video clips, and we have an audio track. That video that we used to replace the one in the existing template was a little bit longer than the original. And so now the text that we have on that screen doesn't last the entire time. Let's stretch it out so that it does. Next, let's play the video and see what this audio track sounds like. That's not quite the calm, peaceful vibe we're going for this video. So I'll show you how to replace it. The audio app isn't one that typically lives over here on the left panel by default. So we're going to click apps and search for audio. We'll choose the one with the simple icon. This will bring up thousands of audio tracks that are open source that we can search through to find one that fits with our video. All of the soundtracks will show you a timestamp so that you can make sure that it's long enough for your video. Ours is only 22 seconds, so most of these being over 2 minutes, we don't have to worry. Let's click this one and drag it onto a new line. From here, you can adjust the track to make sure it's the same length as your video. And when you double click, you can adjust the starting point of the audio to make sure it's starting and ending where you want it to. We'll delete the original and take a quick listen. Much fun. Now let's add the finishing touches to our video by coming over here to our brand and adding any logos or additional graphic elements that we want on our video. When you click it, it will drop it in as an additional screen, and it looks kind of frightening at first, but all you have to do is right click and choose detach image from background. That will place the element on its own layer so that you can adjust it from there. I want my logo to be on this video for the entire time, so I'm going to stretch it all the way to the beginning and all the way to the end. Before downloading, give everything a quick playthrough. There's a preview button at the top. And check for timing, transitions, and flow. Make sure nothing cuts off too early or lingers too long. That looks perfect to me, so I'm going to come up here, name my video, and then go to share, download, and download it as an MP4. And that's Canva's advanced video editor. Once you understand how to adjust timing, transitions, and animation, you can create videos that feel dynamic and professionally branded. No fancy software required. Just keep it simple, stay consistent, and let the brand personality come through in the motion.
Okay, so I know that that one was a little bit on the longer side, definitely a little bit more complex, but do you all feel like you have a little bit of a sense of how the video editor works, the basic idea of how the timeline works, and how you might be able to take an existing template and kind of customize it to work for your business? That's the goal, right? We want to be able to start from a strong starting point and just get a sense of how that timeline works so that we can create some short dynamic clips. We want to think in scenes, not seconds. So break your message into short, digestible moments and just think one thought per slide. As far as those transitions go, keep them purposeful. using that motion to guide people's attention, not to over decorate it. In part one, we talked a little bit about this too, because you were adding some subtle animation to text and just talking about how it can be really fun to play around with all of those different animations. There's a ton of different ones available in there, but just being intentional about how you use them, making sure they kind of fit that tone that you're going for. Fades and slides and those cross dissolves usually feel the most natural, unless you're really going for some big impact, with a big pop or a big jump. If that's the message that you're going for, then those can work great. Think about using your text as your anchor. So you want to treat your on-screen text like headlines. So thinking, short, bold, easy to read on a phone, and then all of those additional details like the longer bits of information can go right in that caption, right? If you're posting a story or a reel, there's always that caption option to expand upon it a little bit further. Think about matching sound to mood, right? Obviously, when we played that first one with the initial audio track in there, the music just totally did not go with the feeling of the video. So it's pretty easy, to just kind of use your intuition and see, okay, this doesn't work. And you can kind of search through that audio library to find different instrumentals or, different fun beats that might capture the feeling that you're going for a little bit better. And definitely start simple. 2 slides, one message, clean visuals is the way to go. If you look through the video template library, there are some really complex ones in there where you might select it and you'll look at the timeline and there's 10 clips, 10 different scenes in a row and 10 different bits of text. And you can definitely start there, and you could delete the ones that you don't want, or you could find a little bit of a simpler template to work from for your one.
Yes. Okay. If you have a video and it has audio in the video, like a testimonial,
Yes.
or an interview or something, how does that translate over? How does that sound translate?
So if it's your own, the audio will be built in, and if it doesn't show up on its own line, when you select the video in there is actually an option that says detached audio.
Okay.
So it will create a separate line for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and you could even put music over top of it if you wanted to, and add a separate audio track.
Okay.
So it's pretty flexible what you can actually do with it.
Are all the images and music and things popular too?
They are open source as long as you have Canva Pro. That's what's great about it. Yes. So yeah, you can use all of them and not have to worry about any of that.
When we finish creating something, is that copyrighted for us?
Like for your particular
Right.
business, no. So anybody could really use the same audio, or if you were worried about if you used your proprietary video or something that a photographer or videographer might have a copyright on that video and give you the rights to use it and nobody else. But if it's something that you just recorded on your phone, you would have to know that. Do you guys want to take a few minutes? I know that was kind of a longer one, but if you think you have been sensitive and you want to take a few minutes to play around with it, and I can come around and help. You have quite a bit of time left, so if you're feeling good about it and you want to play around with the video, we could either you could either think about refreshing an existing video template, so anything that is already in Canva and you want to try swapping in your own clips, or just kind of create a 10-second reel from scratch in a new design and pull it in like a stock video. Yeah, good. Let's do it. All right. I feel like we need some background music.
Yeah.
Can you clip a video in there? Can you
Yes.
cut off
Yes. You
like
can.
10
And if
seconds of a
you-
video or something?
Yes, and if anyone wants to know how to do that, I can come around and show you. You can absolutely cut it off and shorten it in any way that you need to. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I created a reel last week for work and I used my Instagram on my phone.
Yeah.
And there were other posting issues, but versus this,
Yeah.
wow, like You
You
just
like
changed
this one
my life.
better?
Well, it's very similar.
Very
It's
similar.
the same concept, but to be able to do it on a screen versus like punching over on my phone.
I agree.
It just, that would have, I just texted my coworker and said, wow, that would have saved me a lot of time last week.
Well, now I know.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
so that's helpful. Yeah, we'll take about 5 minutes, and if anyone gets stuck, or wants to figure out like how to clip a video or, drag in that stock footage. I think a lot of you might have, Apple. No, you don't. Always.
Oh, no.
All of you have HPs, look at that.
Well, she has a pro, you have a pro.
Oh, she's got.
But not Alan, so. Oh, if we had a clip, yeah, that would be.
Yeah, my favorite thing about Apple is the AirDrop. Like from
Yeah.
my phone, so I'm constantly going back and forth between my phone and the computer. So AirDrop is my go-to. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Wait, airdrop into your computer?
Yeah, from my phone all the time. And Canva actually lets you upload directly from your phone, I believe. I think there's a feature there where you can upload from your phone.
Yes, I can, which is convenient, but I never thought about airdrop.
I do it all the time. It's very, very helpful. And then I live in my notes app because it's in both places.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
So, got a video and I got in some word. How do I add another layer that's my logo?
Oh, yes. So this is the one where it's gonna look a little bit, gonna scare you at first. So go to brand. And then find the logo that you wanna pull in. And then, so what it does is it adds it as a whole new scene. And so we want to detach it from background. So we're gonna go down there, you're gonna right click on that. And then detach image from background. And that's gonna put it on its own layer for you. And if you want it to be on the screen full time, yep, just drag it all the way through.
Here, say that again, detach image from background.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that yet, but I
Okay.
have written that. in.
You go back. Oh. That. Oh, is it all the way in the back? That's why I just put it at the bottom. So your timeline's also in layers. So if you take that and drag it to the top. Yep. So then you can move it wherever you want it on your screen by clicking it there. No, I don't think you want to sugar out of the corner and then drag it out. Yeah, that'll keep it proportional. Oh, now it's releasing a little box or something, so just let you. See what I can do, so those are both photos. Just like, anyway, I have to budget for your arrow. So what it's gonna do, whenever you drag and drop, it's gonna try to replace that photo in the background.
Yep.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves with Canva. So yeah, we have to add a budget to the bottom. Nope.
Oh. Hold it
Yeah.
down. Gotcha. Thank you. That's the one more.
Yeah.
And then if I wanted to add sound or music.
Yes. So we're to first let's check and see if the audio that is currently showing that the left piano, so we should normally hit see what you can switch audio. A simple icon on there. This is where you can play on right there. If you like video. That would be the same thing. You would just drop like it.
Well, that's different.
Just found out the big thing. It's
Oh, there it is. We got it. Yep.
All right. So I don't know if I just. I don't have any video. But so I added it in the logo. Then it did test. I did action. Now it's in the line here.
So you should be able to click and move it up to its full layer. So keep just going up to the right up above that one. It should drop it. See. Oh, no, try writing it out. Sometimes it will do it's
Like
want to
move that one?
whole time. It might down to.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
And then you can move it all the way to the top if you want it at all.
And go around.
Yes, it's Canva's like intuition, and by intuition, it just wants to stack everything next to each other until it sees that you want something on its own layer, and then it'll got a lot going on.
I just threw stuff.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But yeah,
Kind of should.
do with that. Like it's really.
Even
too, is if you don't have videos, you can add subtle animations to the photos. So if you click on each photo and then click the background photo, what it animate. It'll be there. So again, I'll go out to the and then have it animate. There's little like photos or cover, and I'm gonna show you different things that we do.
Is that what you mean, or
My
like?
favorite one are
Should I
just
go in
going the border is nice and fade is nice. Yep, some of these are my favorite, and we'll just use subtle.
Yeah, like the transition sort of thing. Okay,
I
yeah, and normally I would have video, I just never put a video on Canva before.
Yeah.
So,
And they are,
no,
yeah,
rather than search for one.
I so bad.
Cause I sometimes do like a little bit of video, but some stills. Kind of depending on what my content is. So, okay.
and you can keep it that background. But then I'm like, well, but that's not.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Wow,
So happy.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. There's a lot you can do. It's not CapCut, but there's so. CapCut's very kind.
Half overwhelming. I think I feel like a lot of, I see people. When they're maybe using it more for personal use, there's a lot of those that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, you're not like.
A little too much.
How much stuff can we cram into one video?
Right,
Yeah.
versus a professional, and I did try to use it once, and I think I used it paid one, and I realized I couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
So I was just playing around, but this is. I think it's what you need to do. Thank you.
All right, guys, we only have one more demo actually, so we'll move on to the last one. Now this one is Canva's bulk create feature. So if you have ever felt like creating consistent content takes forever, you're not the only one, especially if you have a campaign or something that you are promoting where you need a ton of graphics that kind of have similar layout, but different images, different text. This is something that can make that process a lot easier and faster for you with a little bit of kind of thought and organization on the front end. This one's definitely a more advanced feature. We don't have practice. I mean, we could certainly add some practice time for this at the end, but it's probably one that you would want to play around with and revisit this demo video at home or from the office a little bit later to, when you want to actually experiment with it and see how it works, because it takes a little bit of planning on the front end. So this is really, think of this as kind of setting up an assembly line for your creativity. But keeping it's still intentional and personal and on brand. Does anyone know what a data merge is? Actually, Gail mentioned this in the demo video. Has anyone ever done a data merge spreadsheet? Okay. So this operates similar to a data merge, but it merges your data with a template that you create for your graphics so that you can kind of basically bulk create or batch create bulk create graphics all at the same time, and then just have to make a few tweaks on the end of it. Now let's take a look at one of Canva's most powerful time savers, bulk create. If you've ever wanted to create a batch of social posts or campaign graphics all at once, this tool will be your favorite. From the Canva homepage, click templates. From categories, we'll explore sheets and search for social media on the calendar. I'm starting with this super simple sheet template that will serve as my social media calendar. Click it and choose Customize the template. You'll notice it has a few sample columns like day, platform, content bucket, asset, and copy. I want to keep this as simple as possible, so I'm only going to keep 2 columns. I'll delete platform by right-clicking on the column and choose delete column, and the content bucket column. I'll also add a third for captions, which I'll use later to show you another feature. If staying on brand is as important to you as it is to me, you can take a few minutes to swap out colors and fonts to make it look more like your campaign. Next, we need to start filling in each cell with the information and the assets that we want to use for each post. Start by adding a few sample headlines, just 3 or 4 to begin with. You can think of these as your first round of ideas for a campaign. For my mini brand and website in a week, I started with these 3. Same general idea, just different way of wording them. Now, if you want more headline ideas fast, you don't have to write them all yourself. Highlight the ones that you've already written, then continue down and select the remaining cells that don't have headlines filled in. Come up here to the Quick Actions button, click, and choose Fill Empty Cells. Canva's Magic Write will understand your context and generate fresh, related headline ideas right into your sheet. You can adjust the suggestions or just insert them. And we all know that writing captions for posts can take a ton of time, so you can do the same thing in the captions column to generate different captions for each post. Start out with a strong caption in the first cell that really captures the idea of your campaign. Click it, scroll down to your last cell and click. Choose Quick Actions and fill up these cells. Canva's Magic Write will give you a great starting point. Just be sure to read them all and make sure they sound like you. You can always adjust them manually or use the Apply Brand Voice option in the Quick Actions like we did earlier. Next, let's pair visuals with each headline. You can drag images right from Photos or from the Uploads tab right into the Assets column. Just make sure that your images match up with the headlines that you want to pair them with. I know we went over using the magic background remover on a single image in a post, but it's helpful to know you can do the same thing on your images right here in the spreadsheet. If you want those backgrounds removed, just select all the columns with your assets. Then click background remover in the floating toolbar. This removes the input backgrounds for a cleaner, more professional look, especially useful when you're mixing text and graphics later on in your post. Now that we have our headlines and our assets ready, we're going to link them so that Canva knows how to pair them in the design. Starting with your first asset, select all of these rows down to the bottom of your spreadsheet. Choose Quick Action and Bulk Create. You'll be notified that your data is all ready to go. Click Continue. From here, you're going to choose an existing template to link the assets and the headlines to. I'm actually going to select this campaign template that I've already set up. Next, to actually connect the data, we can select our headline, choose Connect Data, and then Headline. To connect your asset, select your image, connect data, and then choose Asset. Choose Advanced Options so that all of your designs can be saved in an organized folder. Click Save In, and then select the folder you want them to save to, and then Create Designs. Canva creates a new column of links, one for each design it generated using your headline and image pairings. Just click one and open in a new tab to preview it. You'll have to do a little bit of adjusting here, but your designs will be 90% of the way there, saving you so much time. Okay. So that was the bulk create feature. So definitely a little bit of planning and organization needed on the front end, right? We would want to think about which photos we're using, what those headlines are, at least a few sample headlines. But I mean, really, you could create up to 100 graphics in one shot and then have a little bit of tweaking to do on the end, and it would save a ton of time. So yeah, has anyone ever tried that feature before? No? Do you think that you would ever have a use for it? Awesome. No. So yeah, you'll be getting this. So if it's something that you want to play around with on your own time at home, you'll be able to refer back to this to kind of to walk through that. And I lied. We actually do have one more. We have one more demo. Oh, a couple notes about bulk create. So it's perfect for static designs, but it can't do video. Or multi-page layouts. So just those individual posts. The magic is in the reuse. So obviously, again, that front end setup, but then once it's all set up, you can duplicate and refresh and repurpose campaigns in minutes. Definitely start small, map out one post design first that you'll use as your template. Save that to your template library so that you can easily pull that when you go to do your data merge. And again, it's only as good as your prep. So when you spend that time upfront creating the clean spreadsheet, you can reuse that over and over again. And gather those assets first, right? So have all of those photos that you might want to use for that campaign kind of gathered into one folder on your computer so you can easily access it. So the last thing that we are going to be reviewing is your content planner. So Canva does have a built-in content planner, and I think we all know that like scheduling posts is one of the biggest pains when it comes to content. When people use HubSpot, some people use other social media management platforms. A lot of them are very robust and they can do a lot more than Canva's content scheduler. But Canva does have a built-in one that can kind of simplify things for you a little bit by just being able to allow you to connect those designs that you've already created directly to your social media accounts and schedule them to go out on certain dates. So if you're trying to stay a little bit more consistent without the overwhelm of a true social media scheduler or content planner, Canva can actually help you do that really well. first thing that you would want to do is connect your social platforms. So we're going to review that. And then we will review dragging and dropping your designs right into the calendar, and then how to actually preview your week in a visual format so you can see what's going on. When using Canva's content planner, before you can schedule anything, you'll need to make sure your social media accounts are connected to Canva. This only takes a minute and you only have to do it once. From the Canva home screen, either locate the content planner on the left-hand toolbar, or if you don't see it, click the three dots that say more, and then find content planner. In the shortcuts across the top, click Connect Social Accounts. From here, you'll see a list of platforms that Canva supports: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and a few others. We'll start by connecting an Instagram business account. You'll be prompted to convert your Instagram personal or creator account to a business account if it's not already. They'll also ask you to make sure that it's connected to a Facebook page. Then you'll be able to connect the two accounts together. I have previously been logged into Canva with my Facebook account before, so I'm going to click Continue, but you'll be prompted to enter your credentials. Also coming through LinkedIn profile. Since what I do is so visual, I use Pinterest a lot, so I'll connect that as well. It looks like I'm already logged in on this browser, so it's easily allowing me to give Canva access. Once you have all your social media accounts connected, you can click to create a post. Canva is now authorized to publish directly with these platforms, so there's no extra steps needed the next time we want to schedule. From the screen, we just need to decide what and when we want to schedule first. So we'll click the three dots next to the date and choose Change Date and Time. I'm not running my campaign until December 1st, so I'll schedule my first post for that date. If you're paying a lot of attention to analytics and what times your posts do well, you can change the time here. Next, we'll select our channel. I'll start with Instagram. From here, we can either select a recent design from the preview or from our organized folders. Since I did all that planning on the front end with the bulk create, I have my social media content calendar open, and I can just copy and paste the caption from here. Double check your date and time, your platform, your design, and proofread your caption before clicking schedule. Thumbnail under scheduled posts will appear here in the weekly planner view. Canva will automatically publish that post to Instagram at the scheduled time. Next, let's do the same thing for Pinterest using one of our resized designs. From this planner view, you can click the plus sign on any day you want to schedule a post and walk through the same steps. For Pinterest, you'll see that it gives you an option of which one of your boards you want to post it to. I'll select Entrepreneur Resources. And then I'll select the Pinterest pin size from my recent designs. And then copy and paste the caption from my social media content planner. Be sure to also add the destination website for where you want that pin to link to. I'll link it directly to that portfolio page on my site. And then choose schedule. You'll see another thumbnail generated with that Pinterest icon at that day and time. From this view, if you click on any of your thumbnails, you can also change the date and time, edit the design, delete the post, or make a copy of it for a different platform. I decided late in the game that I want to post this one to Facebook too, and Canva makes it really easy to do that. The new thumbnail pops up on that same date and time with that Facebook icon, so we have a clear visual reference of what posts we have going out on that day. Here's what the content calendar looks like once we've gone in and added a few more posts. It gives us a really nice overview so we can easily see what we have coming up. If you ever decide you want to move a post to a different day, just click and drag it over to a different day in the calendar. You'll get a notification saying it's been rescheduled to that same time on that new day. So that's the Canva Content Planner in action. Connect your accounts once, drop in your designs, choose your date and platform, and you're good to go. Going easy? All right, so that's the Canva Content Planner. If you don't schedule a ton of content and you or a ton of different types of formats, it can be a really great tool to stay consistent, or even just a supplement to another more robust planning tool. A few pros and cons to the Canva Content Planner. So it has an all-in-one workflow, which is great. You can design, add your caption right there, and schedule your post all right inside Canva, right? If you are using an outside planning tool, you would have to download and export the asset from Canva as a JPEG or a PNG and upload it to that other planning platform. It's great for static content, so single image posts for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and even Twitter or X. So as long as it's static, it works great. It has that visual planning view, so it's really easy to see your week or your month ahead with that awesome drag and drop option if you decide you want to change the date of the schedule. And it's perfect for small businesses, solopreneurs, founders. It's really user-friendly. It's really easy to manage and great for a team of one that's trying to stay consistent and put something out there regularly. The cons to the Canva Content Planner. Believe it or not, Instagram carousels and reels are not supported. So you can't publish multi-page carousels or multi-image carousels through the content planner, only one image at a time. It's really frustrating. I wish they would change that because I know carousels are really big and it still can't do reels or video. I don't know if any of you ever use LinkedIn, but if you've ever seen those multi-page PDFs that kind of show up in LinkedIn as a little like slideshow, unfortunately, it doesn't do that either. It doesn't support that multi-page format, and it's only one image at a time. And it's got very limited features compared to the Meta Planner or things like Buffer, HubSpot. Yeah, you can't do, it doesn't have analytics. You can't do that whole first comment thing where you can do with some of those other platforms where once something is scheduled, as soon as it'll immediately post a first comment from you, to kind of help with that engagement. You can't do tagging directly in it, which is kind of frustrating because it's really nice to be able to tag or invite collaborators on your posts. And you can't do the A/B testing, right, to compare and contrast if one post does better than another. And you can't cross post to multiple platforms at once, so you have to schedule each one of them separately. Whereas sometimes nowadays it's almost easier to just do it right from the phone because with Meta, you can just cross post right from Facebook to Instagram. But if you're on a system of kind of going into the content planner and scheduling them weekly anyway, it's really just as simple as copying and pasting from Facebook to Instagram and setting it up that way. And you do get some occasional posting errors, but I have used it in the past. I haven't had any pop up, but it does seem to be something that can occur if accounts like randomly disconnect or permissions change. But you would be notified that something did post. But I think that really could happen with any of the planning tools. So, has anyone used it before? Planner, the built-in one? No. All right. Well, that was our final video. You guys did it. Hopefully, there were some fun tips and tricks that you guys could take and actually start utilizing, playing around with, applying to your own businesses. Thank you so much for coming out today. It was really great meeting all of you.